brand new series on how to plan your web design project. Okay, so this is actually not a series, but this is the first training in a series where we are actually going to reconstruct my website and we're actually going to just recreate the whole website. I actually was going to do this behind the scenes, but I thought, man, this is really something that took me a long, long time to really grasp how you plan a really good quality website. Okay. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Of course, for the rest of the week and probably into next week, we're going to continue this because not only am I going to show you how you can plan it, which I'm going to show you today, but I'm also going to show you how to build it. Okay. So let's get into today's training. Okay, welcome back. So first of all, this is the website that we're going to redo. This is on WordPress right now, but we're going to rebuild it on HighLevel. Right now, if you want to join My Vision Agency, you can go to myvisionagency.com. You can go to all plans, and you'll see that we have several plans to choose from. In this program, we do integrate HighLevel suite of tools as well as the Tier 5 tools, and I do have a surprise tool coming next month. So always adding resources as well as white label content and so on. Okay, so this is what we're going to rebuild. Now, you can see that this is actually my website, and this can, I know this might look kind of complicated. Hello, Bacardo and Floyd, for joining me on YouTube. Thank you so much. So the very first thing that I like to do is, first of all, this website, it's not that there's anything wrong with it, but it's just incomplete. There's lots of things as our program has changed so quickly. I kind of, and I think this is true for every business owner. This is why I'm really always talking about it's even if you plan on outsourcing your websites, your web creation, it's great to know enough to know what you need, but also you're always revising, and as you get feedback, as you do A/B split testing, you should always be revising your website. Okay, it's not something you're ever just going to create and then leave and then you're good for years to come. Okay, this is also what makes being a web designer such a great skill set, because websites are always needing managed, they're always needing revised. Okay, so if you look at this, like let's say that I'm the client, right? So I am actually looking at this as an agency owner or web designer perspective, as Vision Marketing and Design is my client. This is their website. Now, at first look, it might look like 1, 2, 3, 4, let's say 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 pages. Okay, but it needs to be more than that. Okay, now this login page is just it's going right into our dashboard and all of that. Okay, because HighLevel is a white label dashboard. So what we need to do is, first, since we have all kinds of new things, if you scroll down my homepage, which I'm not a huge fan of, it does talk about, solutions here, right? So when you think about how to position your offer, okay, if we go back and look here, what we have is Tier 5. We have white label content, we have training, we have templates, we have so many things, okay? But what I like to do is start with just a simple Word doc, okay? And my landing page, that is the home page. Okay. The landing page really needs to be everything that you have all in one place. But there are always going to be things that branch off from the home page. And you can see that here. Okay. This is actually my landing page. But you can also see there are tons of things connected to it. Okay. Because on this simple landing page, I need to have a contact us page. Okay. So if you have a contact us, how are they going to contact you? Well, on mine, it's to book a free discovery call. Okay. So if I scroll up here, I also, not only do I have the contact us, but I also have the email campaign that goes with it. Because if they do contact me, I need to have, they're contacting me via booking a discovery call. So that means that if I have a contact us page with a booking calendar, I need to have a campaign that follows up if they book an appointment. Okay. The About Us page. Every business needs to have an About Us page. It's important for SEO. Plus, it's really shocking how many people actually check out the About Us page, but it's a great way of personalizing your business and showcasing your experience. So we definitely need to have an About Us page. So when it gets to the tier 5 tools, now this is the biggie. Okay. Now, obviously, on the home page, I cannot show all the 27 plus tools that we have that are the tier 5 software. Okay. But I do want to give a brief description of tier 5 and all of the software. And then, of course, it will branch out. There will be a button here in the tier 5 section, and it will branch out. And then it will give me the opportunity to have separate pages for each tool. Now, why do you need to have that? Okay. All of these tools, everything that you see here is all actually one call to action. Okay. There's one purpose that we're creating this whole website, and that is to get people into our program, right? That's the point of everything. All of this is all basically one big giant lead magnet into the program, because this is where all the tools are. This is where our community is. This is my business right here. Okay. So this is my vision agency. So everything that we're doing here is to talk about my vision agency. Okay. So if I have a landing page here, it's showing all of the main points of my vision agency, all of the main benefits and the solutions that we solve, right? But each of these pages could also be a lead magnet. Okay. And you'll understand that as we get into the training. But if you see here, we talk about the premium high level tools. When you click this button, it goes to a page that talks about high level. When you scroll down, we have the tier 5 tools. When you click this page, it goes to the tier 5 tools. Okay. Then we have noisy. And when you click this button, it goes to the noisy or a page where it talks about noisy and so on. Right. And so this is basically what we want to replicate, but we're just going to design it better. It's going to be on high level. This has kind of been something that I have just reworked over and over again, just trying to throw it up there because we've added so many things this past month. And I really, knowing that when we've added so many things, we need to reconstruct it and revise it so that our offers are more congruent and flow together and the branding is consistent. And these are all things that have to constantly be revised. So as I scroll down here, so we definitely want to redo this as well. Okay, so this is the simple landing page, but we want it to branch off into individual pages and talk more about the tools, because what that does is it showcases the value proposition. Okay, so it'd be one thing if I say, hey, yeah, sign up here because all of these tier 5 tools. It's another thing for you to actually see all of the tier 5 tools and what solutions they or what problems they are the solution. For example, I want a page here that is dedicated to Friend Connector Pro. Why is Friend Connector Pro so great? I want a page that talks about that, right? Now, when I have this page, what it also doubles as is an affiliate page, right? But if you are an affiliate of Friend Connector Pro or the whole program, and they decide you share the link for Friend Connector Pro, but they decide to click around and they see, oh, wow, I could save so much more if I just join the program. And then, so all of this works together, okay? So if I was to run Google Ads on Friend Connector Pro, I could run it to this sales page here, and it's still connected to my whole program. So again, that's how we have all of these different lead magnets, essentially, but it really all leads to the one place, and that's the membership area. Okay, so this is basically this website. This is why people talk about how websites can be sales funnels, because even though there's lots of information and lots of places to click around, which I would not actually run Google Ads to this whole website, but I would definitely run Google Ads to a single page on the website, right? Like if I'm talking about Friend Connector Pro. So, because there is essentially one call to action, and that is the basis of a sales funnel. Okay. So we have our contact us page, we have our about us page, we have all of these tier 5 tools. We're going to break it down into having a page for each tool, which means on this, the tier 5 page, which links to the landing page. We just briefly want to talk about tier 5 tools. Then we're going to go to the tier 5 tools extensions and then the software. And then we also want to talk about the partnership program. Then if they sign up for the partnership program, we need to have an email sequence that goes out to them once they've signed up, right? Because that is the second part of what we're doing here, right? So we have the program, we have the tier 5 partnership, and then the HighLevel agency owner. Again, all of this works together. Okay. So breaking down all of this, all of these pages here, tier 5 tools. Now, what's great about this is and I'll show you tomorrow, once we really dive into actually creating this website, is once you get the layout created, the first page is always the hardest. Once you get that created, then it's just a matter of duplicating. So we're not actually having to recreate all of these pages from scratch, and you'll see how we do that later this week. All right. So then, of course, we need, and let me bring this into you guys a little bit so you can see here. So here is, let me move this over a little bit. So again, you see our landing page here, and then we have a section on the landing page that talks about HighLevel tools. And of course, it'll have its own page, and then it will talk about the sponsorship. And then, of course, we need to have an email sequence. Noisy, same thing. We want to have a whole page dedicated to Noisy. Noisy is the communication software that we use to network with our group and create channels. And there's so many great things about Noisy that Noisy itself really needs to be its own page to talk about all of these things. Because again, even though we have one single landing page, we want that landing page to basically be like the home of all of our tools and all of our offers, but we want to give more details, right? We definitely want to, part of selling it is for you to really see all of the benefits that we have to offer, right? White label content, same thing. If I scroll down here, we have so much white label content that it really needs its own page, because what does white label content mean to you guys? You probably have no idea really the value of it, but the point on this page is to show you the value and how you can use this white label content. And I'm sure you can imagine it definitely needs its own page. Okay. Now, training, templates, what templates do we have? Maybe we want to do, and I really do want to, because people ask me this all the time, like, what do HighLevel websites actually look like? So what I want to do is I want to create a template page that talks about, we have in the program 9 white label video courses with the ebook and all of that, that are unbranded. Okay, so I want to talk about that, and maybe I want this page here to be like a portfolio so that people can see, what do HighLevel websites look like? Are they quality? Are they cookie cutter? Is this going to be good enough for my business or my client? These are all the things that we want to answer with this templates page. Okay. And then, of course, we have an affiliate program. So we definitely want to talk about all the benefits of the affiliate program. Now, you also do need legal pages, okay? You need to have a legal page, and that is required by Google. If you go to run, Google ads and things like that, you do need to have like privacy policy and things. And then also the affiliate program, okay? It needs its own legal page. Now, why do you really, okay, and also the plans, of course, and the thank you page, and you need the membership area with the follow-up process, right? Now, why is it so important to plan all these things out? All right. Inevitably, if you start creating a website without planning it out, you are going to end up causing yourself a lot of frustration, because you will forget something. You will forget the follow-up campaign. You will forget the legal pages or the plans page. But it's even more complicated when you're doing this for a client, because if I was mapping all of this out for a client and we agreed, this is a very, very specific job right here. Okay. Now, if I am working with the client and we agree that this is what the project is going to be, and then I send them, the invoice, and then they pay it, and then we start working on the project, and then the client says, oh, wait a minute, I forgot to tell you that I offer this coaching service, and we need to like build onto that. Well, if you don't have this laid out specifically like this with no coaching service on here, then now we start talking about scope creep, and oh, I thought you were going to include that. Well, it's not on the on the map here. So it just causes a lot of frustration. I've talked a lot about scope creep before, but it really can cause so much. It's one of the absolute most popular and worst parts about working with clients. You need to be specific, and I experience this in our local business as well. If we quote a job and it's not specific, I always use the example of when we did a quote one time for removing bushes. Well, they removed the bushes. Well, the client thought that that meant to remove the stump for the bushes, and that's a very reasonable thing to think. However, she was very upset that we didn't remove the stump, but the stump is like an extra charge, and so it just got into this big thing. And I experienced the same thing with web design, or Google ads, or anything like that. You always run into scope creep. So by mapping this out, not only are you eliminating the scope creep, but you're actually working with the client to make sure that you're both on the same page, right? So if I'm the client and I'm looking at this, even if I don't know what any of this means, it looks like a big job. So now I understand when they're telling me this is going to be a $5,000 job. Now, me as the client, I understand why. Okay. It's not like they just said, oh, okay, you need a new website, $5,000. Well, I want to know what's the difference between a $5,000 website and a $200 website that I might have someone hire, make on Fiverr, right? This is the difference. Okay. This is mapped out. This is planned. This helps me ensure to my freelancer that we are on the same page. We're on the same page with the client. The client can tell me, oh, I needed to add this, or hey, let's take this away. All of this needs to be agreed upon before the project ever starts. Okay. Now, again, I'm talking about clients. I'm also talking about you. So if you're not interested in like being an agency or whatever, that's totally fine, because just like me, you will need to create your own website. You need to create your own system, and a system like this is one that will actually work for you, rather than just creating a website that's like a landing page and then it really doesn't automate any processes for you. It actually is just, like I said, it's just like a landing page. We want this website to work for us and automate our processes, but we also want it to relay the message and all of the benefits that we have inside of Vision. Looking at this, you definitely get the impression there's so much more value than if you just look at this website. Okay. This doesn't really, just picking away at my own website, this doesn't really relay all of the things that we have inside of Vision. And so that's why, since we've added so many things as well, we need to revise. Okay. Now, the best place to start is with just a simple Word document. And I do want to point out a couple things about Word documents, just so you know. There is the outline here. Now, again, this is a great place to start with the client as well, because they may get overwhelmed looking at this. But it's great to just have a simple Word doc that you can brainstorm. Okay. Like, for example, I started out when I was making this list, I just wanted the landing page, and I needed to get out of my head all of the things that I wanted to make sure to focus on. Okay. So my landing page is very simple. It's GHL tools, tier 5, the noisy network, templates, training, and white label content. Okay. But of course, all the other pages, we want to give more detail. Okay, so we want to create a page for HighLevel. Now, if you highlight this here and you use heading 1, it will actually put over here in the outline. That's what it determines. If you guys are unfamiliar with Word doc, this is how this works, and I thought this was actually worthy of sharing. So if you make this headline 1, it will actually make the outline here. Okay. Now, if I made this headline 2, okay, it's actually normal text right now, but if I made this headline 2, it would make basically like a subtitle under the main page. Okay. So this is actually very helpful. If you scroll, like, let's make this heading 2. So this is actually very helpful if you are utilizing it. There's a lot, okay? There's a lot of information here. And when you are working on the website and you're like, okay, so we need landing page, da 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 da, and then you're like, oh, okay, about the training page, and then you scroll down here, it helps you to stay organized here. And then also when you're utilizing the H2 and the H1 headings, you can easily just click around. Okay, so that is how you create the summary here on the side. But creating a list like this, it helps you to, like I said, get everything out of your head, but also make sure that you, if you're doing this for your own business, make sure that you are not forgetting things, right? You need like a bird's eye overview of the whole project so that you can really start diving in, right? So when I create the Tier 5 software page, I am going to talk about Chirply and RoboContact and all that. I'm going to list all of these things here. That's why I had it on this list. However, I also need to create another page. So it'll be like Chirply and then a button where they can click and then go directly to Chirply. Okay. So definitely a big project, and that's why it's important to map it out. If I didn't map it out, I definitely would have forgot about the contact us page. I would have forgot about the about us page. And then also, it's one thing to think about things, but when you're looking at the process, it's like, okay, from my landing page, I'm talking about Tier 5 tools. So I'm going to go to this Tier 5 tools page, but there's a lot, right? And when you see this, you're like, you can't fit all of those things on a page unless you're just not giving a lot of information. So this also helps you kind of gauge, like, how many pages am I actually going to need to create to be able to fulfill this project and get all of the information relayed. Okay. Let me see your questions here. Can we get a snapshot of that and the affiliate marketing site? Um, I'm not sure what you mean. If you could message me in the noisy group and be specific, or if you have time here, she trades financial. Is that Shawana? I think. Let's see. Maria says, "Are you mapping this out on HighLevel or something else?" Oh, good question. So this is actually Funnelytics. I meant to tell you guys that, so I'm glad that you asked. Funnelytics is totally free. And I'm using the free plan. I never pay for this, but Funnelytics basically just helps you map out all of the things inside of your funnel. You can move in these, like for example, if I start here and I just needed to add a page, let's say sales page. So I'm just going to drag that there. Now let's say I needed to add another page here. I could do this, and maybe I needed to add some emails. Let's go to traffic. So I wanted to add an email sequence. So this is basically how simple it is to map out. You're just going to add, click the little symbol there. Maybe I wanted a download page. Move this over here. Click here. Maybe I want a thank you page. So that's basically how you use it. It's very, very simple to use. But this definitely, like I said, Funnelytics, totally free. It's a great tool to be able to, like I said, get everything out of your head and then get it on a blueprint so that you know exactly what to do. Right. So now you guys will see how having this plan put in place, it makes it really easy when you're creating all the pages, because with this many pages, it can be really overwhelming. But if you start with the landing page, and I'm going to show you tomorrow, we're going to talk about headers and footers. But when you start with the landing page and you get basically your first page laid out and templatized, you choose your buttons, you choose your header and footer, you choose basically the style that you want, then everything else really flows seamlessly after that, and you're just duplicating. Okay. So let's see. Talking about the Vision affiliate main link. My main website, that's actually built on WordPress, so I can't share that with you. Okay, I don't see any other questions. So that is all that I have for you today. I will see you tomorrow. Like I said, we're going to talk all about headers and footers. And I think it's going to be really cool because there are some really cool, even though like our web design in HighLevel, our web builder tool is very, very simple. You can really create some cool designs. And I'm going to show you, it looks so similar to WordPress. It's crazy. But anyway, that's what we're going to talk about tomorrow. So I will see you all then. Same time, same place. Go make your vision a reality. Bye.